As the Toastmaster Ranga mentioned, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon is attempting the project called Evaluation and Feedback in Level 1 Project 4 under the pathway Presentation Mastery. So does it really matter, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon? Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, does it really matter?
Good morning, everybody. When I was in school, there was a lot of competition between students to be the first in the class. Everybody wanted that admiration to say, I am the first in the class, always, in all the subjects, especially in maths and science. For some reason, some of the teachers also were very happy if students scored good marks in maths and science and not so much in the other subjects. People who scored good marks in these subjects were always looked upon as somebody special, to that extent that the student themselves felt that they were a notch above the others. Doesn't matter if they didn't score good marks in languages or humanities, for that matter. For them, being good in maths and science was all that it mattered. For people who did not score those kind of marks, they always had this feeling that are we a bit less compared to our peers? Are we slow learners? Today we sometimes hear the term slow learners. Are we slow learners? Is it something that will not help us as we go ahead in life? If we don't get good marks in maths or good marks in science, does that mean that we will not make it good in life? These were all the questions that used to plague people's mind. No matter that they were good in languages, they were good in writing, they were good in communicating, they had a good knowledge about the world history and geography. Every quiz competition that the school used to organize, the students who were good in humanities would score, be the toppers. Some were good in sports to an extent that they devoted their time only in sports and did not achieve too much in academics. In all of this, some teachers will always say, some used to say it directly, some used to say it indirectly, that those who are not good with numbers and those who are not good with formulas will face a difficult choice as you go up the ladder. Now, this was an India of the 70s and early 80s, where there were no other options other than doing engineering, medicine, or going for a government services, where also you needed maths and science to solve the question paper. So there are some people like me who always used to wonder, oh, what will we do? Because I was not good in maths and science. I just managed to scrape through every time. Sometimes I used to get good marks, but most of the times it was average, but I would compensate that with the other subjects. One day, out of curiosity, I asked the teacher, how does it matter? So she came back and asked, what do you mean, how does it matter? I said, if somebody doesn't know trigonometry or somebody doesn't know to solve a plus b the whole cube, do you mean to say that they will be unsuccessful in life? She said, well, you can't get into engineering or medicine. I said, if I don't want to do engineering or medicine, is it going to hold against me? What are you going to do is what she asked me. I said, well, I will do anything. I don't know, but I don't think this will matter if I look back at my life some years down the line. She said, I don't know, you think about it, but successful people are mostly whom you see that getting into engineering or medicine or management. I said, fair enough. passed out my 10th standard with distinction thanks to humanities and languages. When I got into college, peer pressure, parental pressure, I would say, made me take up science. I flunked very badly in it. Somehow I managed to clear college. But after that, what I made out of myself has got nothing to do with solving mathematical formulas or reading up Bernoulli's principle or Archimedes' theory, okay, or Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. It was all something different. So when we meet today as our school group and we look at people who are there were people who were toppers in maths and science, there were people who were good in humanities, there were people who always used to fail, and there were people who were in between. But if I look at all of them today, everybody is successful in their own unique way. Nobody would say that I am a failure in life. If somebody really says they are a failure in life, most of the times it would be due to the choices that they made in life. It's not because of their being weak in maths or science or something else. The choices took them to where they are today. And if I look back at my life today, I would always feel that thing that end of the day, it didn't matter how much marks you scored, whether you knew a certain subject or you didn't know a certain subject. How much of what you study does get used in daily life? Very little. What we studied for and what we are doing is totally different. So that is what I always say to people. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. What happens has happened. What you want to make out of your life, you can make it out in multiple ways. At the end of the day, it's a zero-sum game. You do something, the effect of that will come to you. And most of the times, if not always, you are responsible for your own actions. You are responsible for your own destiny. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Your speech reminded me of my mother.
Speech delivered by DTM Satish Menon will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ranga. Let me call Toastmaster Ranga. Over to you, Toastmaster Ranga.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. Toastmaster Satish Menon is on a personal journey beginning from his school days. It was an absolute clarity of thought, and the flow of the speech had smooth transitions from his childhood to the present. He was very comfortable and was always aware of the audience. Our interest was piqued when he actually confronted his teacher to find out what happens when a student is not proficient in STEM subjects. And from that, you could make out that he was a non-conformist as far as the school was concerned. And then he wanted to pursue his own passion. As life progressed, it proved that it was more important to pursue his vision rather than just go ahead with the flow. Having said this, there are a couple of things that I would like to highlight. One was the gestures. Since distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon was giving his speech sitting down, we were not able to see the full range of gestures that we could have probably experienced. And the second was the vocal variety. A bit of this came into play, especially during his conversation with the teacher. To sum up, the speech was clear, well crafted, and had a strong message. A bit of gestures and some vocal variety, especially during his conversation with the teacher, would take this speech to the next level. Over to you,